All right, let's go to our next story. You know, the egg donation is a sales gambit promoted by female students of the University of Ibadan, Oyo State. Now, the university authorities have waded in. They say, while offering hope to families facing infertility problems, it should not be regarded as a steady source of income or side hustle. The director of the University Health Services, Aderonke Ajayi, said female students were recruited to join in the egg donation stratagem by individuals, agents, or agencies. Deeper than you thought, Wale.
Well, I think we have to look at this from medical point of view and also from legal point of view. In the first instance, people have challenges of infertility.
Okay.
And modern science has introduced so many methods, you know, like fertilization.
Yeah.
You know, where
the IVF
yes,
thing.
you can collect egg from a donor, and when you collect the egg, you put in the sperm of the male and then implant in the womb of the woman that wants to, the female that wants to.
Yeah.
So it's and I think under the Nigerian Health Act, you know, it is not an illegal thing to do. People are free to donate eggs to those that are in need. However, the trend that worries us is when it becomes a commercial enterprise. Yeah. You know, where people are not, they don't even mind to donate all their eggs in their lifetime, you know, to just for profit, you know, because they want to make money. I think that is the moral and the moral aspect that we think, and it also has a lot of medical implications in terms of the consequences, because in places where such eggs are donated, there is a whole process, scientific process, that the donor has to pass through. They have to do genetic investigation. They have to do screening for HIV. They have to do screening for all sort of hepatitis, blood samples, you know. And even after that, you need to be on certain prescriptions because of the immediate and long-term, you know, impact on the donor. It can lead to all sort of, you know, it has a lot of implications on the donor. So if you don't pass through this kind of processes, and normally it's supposed to be voluntary, it's also supposed to be anonymous. People who donate eggs, you know, they have to sign contracts so that they cannot claim ownership of that child in the future. But we have a situation where people are selling their body just to eat. People are selling their body in order to survive. I think that's a very immoral thing to do, and we need to put a mechanism in place to stop it. When young children are selling their eggs, they don't know that in future it might also affect their own fertility. So I don't think it's the right thing for our people, for, you know, our girls to do, and they need to be properly educated, and we need to get the government to stop that kind of practice.
Kade, you get the gist now. When I first read this story, my mind went to the natural eggs. Now I'm getting the picture.
Okay.
So you know where he is coming from.
Very well. In fact, I have a lot to say about this, but because of time, you know, one important thing these young ladies should know is that they need proper education. This is what science has taught us. As you were born, from day one, you started producing eggs as a girl. And throughout your lifetime, there is a number of eggs allotted and allocated to you. And so when you believe that you should be a side hustle, you know, in a case where the calculation is when you are donating egg, maybe let's say naturally you're supposed to give eggs twice, you know, at a time, a day. But at this particular time, when they stimulate the hormones, sometimes they do it as much as 10. So if you're doing it 3 times a year, from that report, you're talking about donating 30 in a year just because of profit. And because people have forgotten the genesis, the idea behind this egg donation that Wale has mentioned, it has to do with, in fact, it started from even family members who want to assist you. They will donate egg. It starts from people who have probably finished having their birth, but they are still young, they still have eggs. And the people who need these eggs are usually those people with their AMH has gone low, and probably they've reached their menopause, they cannot produce eggs. So this set of donors This is the primary purpose. And because a lot of these people who are buying these eggs are commercially oriented, they don't mind what happens to these egg donors. And these egg donors are insensitive, they are not knowledgeable.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I don't know what you're thinking.
Baby factories.
Exactly. This is even a worse scenario. So this is a situation where these girls need to be told.
Yes.
It's not the immediate gain. It's not the millions, whatever you are even given. It's not what you're thinking you're doing. The primary aim is to help. Even though you will collect money, the primary aim is to help. And if that is out of your mind and you think you're smart by making money, some people give excuse of economic hardship. Excuse me, you're playing with your future. There is a whole lot of disadvantages that can come, or you can have disease, you can have all kinds of things. So this, like you said, we should look at it broadly. Government should do something about it. Oh, yeah. There should be some kind of review of legislation so that the people that are capable of donating eggs should be profiled.
It is just as well that the authorities of the university are wading into, yeah. But this is not to, gentlemen, this is not to say that science has told me, and I imagine it has told you folks too, that men and women produce the X and Y chromosomes
exactly.
In the process, you know. So when you mess with your God-given system, you will pay.
Sure.
You will pay. And this is where education, a lot of education
it's
comes
very, very
in.
important.
Yeah.
We need to educate.
So the intervention of Journalists Hangout here must be understood.
Sure.
Very well.
Yeah.
So we need to educate our young girls. We need to let them know that there's no justification, you know, for selling parts of your body just because you really want to survive. And that our parents never did this. If you had done that, you know, probably many of us will not be alive. So it is immoral and to do so, and also has a lot of consequences on the donor that may not be explained by those medical experts just because they after the money that they want to make out of it.
Again, science came to aid man, not to replace nature.
Sure.
We must factor that into.
And Nigerian Medical Association should play a very important role, because there's no way people can donate eggs without having the professional practitioners. So there must be medical ethics. It has to be strictly enforced in our medical institutions. So the medical doctors have a very important role to play. The NMA as a professional body should wade into this, and the Nurses and Midwives Association of Nigeria, should rise up to this occasion so that they can ensure that this is
and this is not abuse.
They put an end to it.
Because we must avoid abuse. Like he said, these things are not illegal. That's the first thing he mentioned. But it becomes illegal when there is no, sensitization, these are the consequences. These are the reasons.
Regulation.
You are losing some eggs. Are you aware? This is part of the eggs you're losing. That's why I prefer people who probably have had, maybe there are 3 children they plan to have, and the lady is probably under 30, and he feels that, I can be of help to this person who has reached the menopause. We shouldn't discourage science. We shouldn't discourage IVF.
But science came to assist man.
But for these young girls who are doing it, in fact, there's a lady who did a report. She won the Wole Soyinka Investigative Journalism for Women, Reporting Women, or something like that. That was her special. She went on she had to hide herself, and she was having serious interviews with many of them. And many of them were just making money, not caring about what their future holds for them. They will say that, when I get married, anyhow, what is the usefulness of even the so-called having babies?
And again, twisting the element of miracles. The miracles are there, but you must play by the rule book.
Exactly.
Don't abuse nature and its gift. Well, the viewer must understand that when issues get thrown up, Journalists Hangout will come with contexts to that issue and give clarity, which is what we are doing.
Exactly.